So I'm not sure what's going on there. If anybody can hear me, just say hi. Oh, good. You hear me? Excellent, Janos. Morning to you. And how was your vacation? It's been a long, a week of, I'm sure it was like drudge for a few days there, first Monday and Tuesday. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing my charts. Can you see my charts? I'm not sure what's going on there. Let's try that one more time, refreshing. All I see is the symbol. It says live, waiting for Dukascopy webinar. I'm not sure what that's all about. Maybe if I stop it and start it again? And let's see if that does it. I'm going to text you. And if anybody can hear me, let me know. You can hear me, Daniel? Good, all right. Can you see the charts? I can't see the charts on... I mean, I see my charts, but I can't see... What am I doing wrong here this morning? Let's see. I am talking, but system is not going on. What did I do wrong? Maybe I should try to restart it. Let's try this again. Good, you can hear me. Can you see my charts? Ah, there we are. Now I see them. Okay, I'm back up too. So, Janos, how was the vacation? All right, what do we got going on here today? I see a little bit more strength in the cable. Looks like it's playing with the weekly, not the weekly, the daily buy number. Let's take a look at that. That's Euro went into a daily buy yesterday. You can see here we're doing that little dance there up top there. And let's see what J4X is saying to us. That's the Mexican peso. El peso. I guess I just had to restart OBOS. Okay. Now you can see here it's trying to turn up. We got this yellow line thing going on. Soon it's going to, look at that. White lines coming through the, what I like to call the three-dimensional zero line, the slow stoke. And you can see we're through the standard deviation bandwidth. So there's some strength coming into the cable there. Farkash, how you doing? You can see the chart. I can see the charts now too. I'm really impressed. So I always put the YouTube up on one of the computers so I can make sure that it's all happening. There was a message about wrong resolution. How now it's gone. Must have been a bug in the sending of the stream. Yeah, I restarted the OBS, and when I restarted the OBS, it seems to have straightened it out. So, I started the OBS. I always start it about 5 minutes before the webinar starts. So, but here we are. Thank you, technology, eh? All right. So there you can see on the euro, it's trying to lift up here again. You can see with no problem at all when it comes to our Chicago quant math. You know, it's cleanly up, showing strength. Maybe there's another leg coming. Let's just take a look at it through this. So it's been a while since we were up this high, all the way back in February. And so maybe they're going to make another leg up to something like that, maybe the 135s or something. For the euro, let's go take a look at the euro. That went into the daily buy yesterday, or 2 days ago now. This is the second day for it. And you can see the euro is acting pretty firm and consistent, hanging in that 18s area. We'll widen that out a little bit. you can see here we got a little blue line going on. We got two greens, and let's put it up over here just to watch how it matches up for traders trying to match up to our math. A little inside day developing right there, but you can see the firmness here, and look how high the white line is. Look at it. Last time it dipped like that right there and then started to climb again. This thing hasn't even dipped. It just seems to be staying very, very firm. Dollar went down. Excellent. Good one, Daniel. Good one. Yeah. I mean, if you're short them, I hope it goes down for you. That's the name of the game. I keep on thinking we're going to see something like the 80s, like 86, 87, 88 in that area for the dollar index. And that's pretty good, I think that would be, good. I'd be surprised if we see any more selling than that. The only way I could see a change in the whole thing would be if Biden won the election, which I doubt is going to happen. So seems like he's following the same pathway as Mrs. Clinton. So only thing is, I think Mrs. Clinton was probably a little bit more popular with the left than he is. We'll see. Hard to tell. So it'll be worse for him, I think, than it was for her. I think he'll only win something like 13 states out of the 50. So we'll see. And I think that would have an effect on the dollar. If he did something like took the House and won, or lost the House and won, I still think there'd be something going on there. Hey, Quad Z, how you doing? Let's see. You didn't notice the when you said dollar went down. No, I'll put it back up there. We can take a look at it. I think that the Mexican peso has been kind of quiet. It's been locked in kind of a range now for a bunch of months. Mr. Trump has negotiated some really good things with Mexico. So you can see it here on the chart. It seems to be bouncing between the 23s and the 21s relatively tightly. I mean, really tightly. It's been really locked for about 5 or 6 solid weeks here. Not a lot of this movement. It's been locked in this area. You can see it's going into the lows here. You see that right there. But what else can we say about that? And then when we look at it on our work, you see the same situation, just described in a little different story. I think that's the best way to describe it. Just in a little different story, but both have the same theme. The J4X and Doc's work have the same trend theme. So there it is right there. You can see a slow burn on the downside, but nothing major. And Quad Z, what's up with you? Anything good? We started off with technical difficulty, so we got started wrong, but it's all right now. We can take a look at, if anybody wants to see anything, we can do that. And if not, we'll go over to, someone's figuring out what we should look at next, since Daniel brought us to the Mexican peso, which is cool. You can see here, it doesn't look like it's going to go after any weekly in a moment. The daily's been, grab us a red line and move it over. Daily's been like that for, I guess, like since there, it's been in a sell, because when it went up, it was a red and a green dot, so it couldn't go into the buy until the following day, and the following day gave us the sell again. So it's been in a sideways down move, but it's a very tight range. Let's see what's going on over at the Turkish lira. Boy, that's jumped around the last couple of days. Put it up on J4X right there. And that's been holding firm. Really trying to push up still. Looks like it's going to go, what's that? This is like a long horse race now. 17 Turkish lira on the fact check sheet. 36 weeks in a buy. 36 weeks. I mean, what? 16 more weeks and it's a full year in a buy signal. And there it is right there. Went into the buy here, you can see. And now I'm a little confused. This was a red dot yesterday, so it didn't go into the sell. Now today it's removed the red dot. I don't know why it did that, but we just follow the numbers. And at this point, it's up and away still as far as I'm concerned. We're in the weekly, and you can see this thing is holding firm. And, I'm deeply concerned we're going to see an 8 handle on this thing. Every time you turn around, something weird happens. What about... Oh, yeah, there we are. What do you think, Farkash, huh? I don't know. They're really having their issues with Greece and international waters and France. I mean, a lot of weird things are going on, I don't know if that's a death rattle, when someone's dying and the gurgling sound at the end. It's a death rattle maybe going on with the Turkish country's political structure. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. I mean, when a currency goes from 1.5 to 7.5 over I don't know, what's that, 5-6 year period? Basically the leadership that's running the country obviously is having some problems. That's for sure. Definitely having problems. So I'm not really sure if how. I know he's able to stay in power for at least another 6 or 7 years. I think it is, or 5 or 6 years. So, I mean, where will it be? Will it be by the time he's leaving? Will it be 14? Will it be 13? I don't know. Will it be like the way the South African rand is? Will it go like the ruble? Just climb up? I don't know. We hope not, but it doesn't seem like anything is changing there. All right, let's take a look at Canada. Canada seems to have broken away from it. Let's see. Oh, this is Turkey wants to grab continental shelf from Greece. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what to say about any of that anymore. It just seems all kind of a little crazy to me, but that is what it is. I mean, that's how it plays itself out constantly. We constantly see the same game being played, and Aragon is in the end result is that now look how it's stalled out. I thought that was interesting how it stalled out for I don't know, what was that, it stalled out for like 3 weeks. I thought there was some type of wonderful deal put together. I don't know, it was pretty impressive, but right now I don't really see any clarity whatsoever to the whole structure of it all. I just don't see it. I don't even know how to even describe how confusing it seems to be at this point. The whole thing is upside down, So the only way I can even remotely figure out what's going on is just watch the currency, really. I mean, that tells you what people are thinking. And obviously, they're not thinking good things, because the product's gone from 1.5 since he was prime minister to this. And that's pretty painful, I would say. The country's not geared towards that, So I guess that's the only way we can look at the Turkish lira at the moment, is no matter what things he's doing. I mean, he's doing all kinds of weird things. I mean, he's in Libya. I guess he went to Libya probably thinking he could get some money. I mean, Libya has money. I mean, has oil, So obviously he's hooked on the oil thing. That's the most obvious thing of all, is that he is aiming at oil. So I guess what'll happen is that we'll see it. See how long that lasts. You know what I mean? It's a hard guesstimate exactly what will happen. But one thing is for sure, and that is that we see the currency constantly finding ways to go up or lose value. Like the way, look at the Mexican peso is. It goes down. That means it's gaining value. In this case here, this thing is going up, and it is not making. It's not. It's taking money out of the pocket of people. That's what it really comes down to. So, all right. I guess we beat that horse about as dead as we can. I mean, really, we all know what's going on, and we just have to sit back and watch. But I'm amazed. 36 weeks in a weekly buy. That's a long time. That says there's some real problems. That's what that says. There's some real problems going on. That's that currency. All right, now let's jump over to Canadian. Let's see what the Canadian's doing. We already have the CAD up there. There it is. Let's see what it looks like on J4X. Oop, wrong one there. Right there. There's the CAD. And you can see this thing is working down, and it has that look like it wants to keep on moving down. Now, we can take a quick look at oil to see what oil is doing, because that seems to have, an effect on this currency in particular. Maybe, Quad Z says, maybe looking for Turks that could bring back the glory. I don't know. Isn't that what Prime Minister / President Aragon's been saying all along? That he's trying to bring back the glory? He's not doing too good a job at it, watching their currency go down the sink, I understand that that's what they want, but glory is usually from productivity. Glory in the end result, those old-fashioned days of killing and then taking from other countries. Back, I guess, about 100 and some odd years ago, that was part of the lifestyle. In other words, countries go to war. They try to take the other country's assets, and they succeed. They enslave a lot of the population, steal a lot of the assets, take the gold and so forth. And then that was glory back in 2 centuries ago. But that is not really glory in an age where the average person in any one of these countries has a camera and a telephone that can transmit everything that's going on live. It's a whole different world now, and glory is definitely not conquering. It's more like providing economic infrastructure and so forth. I guess that's the best way to describe it. All right, so you can see here the CAD. They seem to be calming down whatever the problem was up there, and it's really slowly drifting down. It's very very good. And you can see, look at the way the white line is away from the time manifold itself, the negative time manifold right there. It's way down. You can see it has hiccuped a few times, tries to get into a little buy and then fails, and buy and fails, and that's because we're in the weekly trend. The overall big trend is down, and so to try to trade those things is the way to go. Better than depending online on only. Wait a minute. Daniel says CAD might have a small retrace upward. Also, I see that. Also hit the yearly pivot at 132. 131.90 can be a chance for CAD to upwards. To get strong momentum down, needs to go below 131. Yeah, I hear you. That sounds interesting. All I see is something that's been in a downwardly spiral, I guess. Let's see. How do we do that? Go like this. Since the 40s. Look at that. I mean, it's been in a downwardly spiral. It's coming off the 145.46 area down now to your number, basically. We're almost at that 130, 190 area. And then when we look at, let's see if we can track this. Can we do it on this? Yeah, I guess I can do it on this. I mean, we went into a buy for a week. I guess we must have been in a sell. Let's go back one more. So we went into a sell here. I guess we must have stole that one. And so then it went into a sell, a weekly sell here. That 45 was wild. I wonder if we were in the daily. You can see the daily sell right there, and then climbed up for this there, and then went into a daily sell for this slide there, and then I guess it confirmed off of this one right here, and then we got a little nip up into a buy. And then it rolled right over again the next week. And that's why we probably stole it and put it there. And then you can see the... actually, it looks like it went into the sell right there. That's where the sell was. So you can see this thing's been in a good slide since the 40s in our work. Mid 40s there. And that was an interesting move too. That run up, we were in a buy. We went into the buy somewhere around. We can move this over for a second. Went into the buy right up in here. What area is that? Let's see what that is. What is that? There's your 131.90. I see right there. There's your 131.90 back in February, January and February of this year. So I see where you're looking at that, and then let's take that and steal it back and put it right there. I guess it was. No, right there. Went into the buy there, and then it zigzagged out of them each time. Now this one's, see that this one went on for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. So here's 2, 3, 4, 5. I think your 131.90 probably has a good chance of being breached. That's for sure. Let's see. So let's see. Better than depending on online only. Online. Oh yeah, you mean like cameras and videos and so forth? Yeah, yeah. It's what do they call that? Gonzo News. You know, it was that Hunter Thompson, one of the famed 60s radical philosopher, a fellow named Hunter Thompson. They've made a few movies about him. Living and something in Las Vegas. Johnny Depp played that, and Where the Buffalo Roam with Bill Murray played him. So, I mean, both of those are, and the guy was classic. Hunter Thompson, he died in 2005. He was one of those classic 60s hippies from the South, like Kentucky or Tennessee or something like that. And I think that's what he used to refer to it as, Gonzo News. And that's what he was. He was doing like all kinds of news things and philosophy and so forth. Anyway, there we go with that. You can see the Canadian. You're right. It's playing with that 131.90 area, which is way back there where we saw. And you can see here, you know, that's the topping out back in March. And it's been a drift down. And it's driven down and up and down and up and, you know, doing all kinds of things. And then it really is going on a tirade. This slide here has been pretty impressive. I mean, it went into the sell basically here, and then went into a buy, then went into a sell, nice ride. Now went into a buy just for a week again and rolled over again. Goes into a sell. So see how that plays itself out. It's the oh yeah, no, we should take a look at the oil too, right? It's the Aussie dollar uncertain. It will go up or down. So far the momentum favors down. Yeah, I guess where are we at on that? That's the 13, right? Line 13 on the spreadsheet. All right, there. No, not there, there. And it's 17 weeks now on a buy. So let's take a look at that. Aussie dollar. And there is the Aussie dollar. And you can see this thing has just been climbing and climbing and climbing, right? You can see we've been 17 weeks right there in a weekly buy, so it matches up perfectly with, you know, that. Let's put it up on the Chicago Quant side of this. Let's see right there. There it is. Now it's been in a buy. Let's see. Oh well, 17 weeks. So it's been a while, that's for sure. There you go. Back there. What was that? April at the big bottom. It's been riding hard. You can see it goes in and out on the short term. Now it's back into a buy, but look how tight that is. Let's widen that up a little bit. And it's not, it's a real tight range there. Look at that. Maybe it's running out of steam. Maybe it needs to go into a little cell or something, you know. All right. Daniel says Aussie. Okay, we did the Aussie firm. And then he says New Zealand dollar continues to fall down. Yeah. What's oil doing? Let's take a look at oil at the same time. And then we'll go to NASCAD. Where's that? Well, first, let's put since we're on that page, let's go to NASCAD. There's NASCAD. And then let's go over to, yeah, and you can see it's sliding down. And then let's go take a look at crude oil right there. crude oil right there. There we go. And then let's put it up on the J4X. Put the NASCAD up there. There it is. Now NASCAD on the spreadsheet, where is that at? Let's see. That's line 20. There it is, 24. We're looking at 12 weeks in a buy and 4 days in a sell. See that right there? Sell. 4 days in a sell. And then 12 weeks in a buy. WB. Yeah, see, there you go. Been in a weekly buy here. It seems to... Look how tight the time manifold's getting. Let's see if we can reset this a little bit better for you. There we are. And so, yeah, there we are right there. You can see there it's playing, you know, it's getting close. And now let's take a look at oil real quick. Oh, no, this is the oil. This is oil. Where's the cat? Let's go to the NASCAD. Oh, look at that. They're playing with the weekly sell in that. Let's move that over. So it's May. 17 weeks is May? No, it's 12 weeks. That's why. Okay. And so you can see there it's playing with tried to play with the weekly sell last week, and then right from the beginning of this week in that sell, it's been in a sell. Now what was it? Must have gone into the buy here. So let's do this. Let's move this over to there. So went into the buy there, and then went back into the sell right there. So, and then you can see all this, I guess last, okay, so Monday it closed in the sell. Friday it tried, but it had the green dot with it. And you can see here it's been underneath water all week long. You can actually be short that if you're nimble and you're able to, if you're watching Doc's charts every day. NAS fall down. Let's see. Now, oil failed to breach the 42 pivot, and it was uncertain if they would try to go up again. It will start falling all the way to 40. Now, let's take a look at that. So there's crude oil. Where's it at? 42.08. Okay. And we've been in sell for days, like last week even. And it's gone nowhere. Look at it. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up. This thing seems to be holding up more. Just because of the NASCAD falling the way it is, as you can see here, where's it at? Where's Mr. Mouse? There it is. As you can see here, the NASCAD rolling over, you know, you have to wonder if, like you said, oil is going to break down to the 40s. You would think that, you know, go down to 40 or something like that. Not sure exactly what's got the firmness in it. Maybe I always look at it, you know, I'm always trying to find a story, and sometimes we're right, and sometimes we're just so far off the hunt. You know, like the way we were interpreting the Turkish situation with the currency. We were just so wrong. I thought they had a deal or some form. Instead, it really was no one knew what to do with Turkey kind of poaching in international waters or something like that. So I guess what it really comes down to is we really don't know if the markets are looking at potential growth ahead. That would make sense why it's staying in the weekly buy and not threatening the weekly sell. At the same time, that daily sell has been, you know, very poor sell. But then again, we're in a weekly buy, so you can't short it. You can only take a profit from it. So it's not giving you an opportunity. If the you know, oil was underneath like the way NASCAD is, you could have been short this week. And I guess obviously those daily bars would have probably been much lower too. Let's see. So let's see what so I guess Daniel's given us his pivot to that, and it makes sense to see the 40s. The weekly is really holding it back. That's what's really holding it. So, but what is, you know, NASCAD is obviously anticipating something like that. That's usually the way it works. Oil and NASCAD work together. So, all right. Let's jump over to. Where do we jump over to now? Let's see, NASCAD we did, right? Oh, I know. Let's jump over to see what the Swiss franc is doing, because that's just like watching the dollar. Let's see, where is it? Right there? Right there. Right there. You can see it's kind of stalled out these last 2 weeks. You know, it's going up and down, but look at the time manifold and look at the weekly. And it's just, you know, been holding firm there. Where are we now? Let's see. Right there. No, right there. So we're 11 weeks in a sell. It looks like it's easily going to be 12 today. We're 2 days in a sell right there. And you can see that. Now let's take a look at this. But overall, it's really been sideways. Oop, wrong button. It's been real sideways now for, I want to say, a couple weeks. There it is on J4X. We're down to 90 and change now. You can see that the sell has not exactly done anything, but it's in a weekly sell, so it's been safe to be short that the last couple of days. You know, we watched this with copper for 3 or 4 days. Copper was in a sell, and it kept on going sideways, but it was in a weekly sell. I kept on waiting. Okay, when's it going to drop? And sure enough, yesterday it dropped. But this, maybe they're digging their heels in. Let's look at it a little further out. I'm going to take a bite of my apple, too. Let's take a look at it a little further out. Now, you can see this low area here back in March. There hasn't been a low area like that since first quarter of 2017. Look at that. You know, that's what it's sitting on there. Let's see if we put a weekly up there. Let's see how far back we can go and look. It's loading. That's what's, whoa, okay. So what is that? 2011. Right there. What was that? That was the 70s, right? 76, 77. And then in here, that's the 90 thing. So I think that big drop, one of these drops was the change of, maybe it was right there, the change of them supporting the euro or something like that. 2014-15. Remember that big drop? That's it right there. So I guess that's the more interesting thing is, will it just hesitate and hang out here? And, or thinking it this way, if it keeps on breaking, you start to think like the dollar is going to break down more. Maybe it's stalled out now because of that. Like I said, I don't think the dollar has a lot more to go on the downside. Gold dipped a bit below 2 days ago and now above monthly pivot. 1905, gold might have a chance to go up next week. Yeah, I think we posted something on another, you know, online magazine from Chicago Quant on Wednesday about that. You know, saying, don't be short. You know, try not to jump out of your gold so fast or your silver. Let's take a look at that. Let's see, right there, and right there's silver. You see the silver is just bouncing around. It looked like it went into the buy. I don't understand what's coming in on this thing here. At first we thought it was in a buy right here. See that right there? It looked last night it was way over that. They're adding extra data to this thing. It's really weird. Then today you can see they're trying to push it down right there. But you know, it's moving over and trying to get into the daily buy now too at the same time. The time manifold's way off the top there. So, I mean, you know, we caught the sell here. We went into a daily sell. It told you to take the profits from this move here. And, you know, then it collapsed. And it was insane, you know. I said this yesterday. It goes from the 29s down to 23.50. A 33% haircut on the thing. I mean, that's that's ridiculous. I mean, what is going on in those markets? I mean, how does it move in a 2-day period or 3-day period? Literally, no, 2-day period, it goes 33% down. 33%, that's enormous. Let's see, Daniel said gold. Quad Z says, Doc, going back to the subject of options. Oh, okay, good. I've been trying to make some sense of it using the binary trading availability under J4X, web, binary trading, etc. Did Janos? Hey, Janos, if you're listening, I think we talked to. I'll text you later about that, and see if we can bring somebody in from Dukascopy to mention something during the webinar on options. Just post. Maybe someone jumps in on my webinar and shows us a little more about the options, the binary options on Dukascopy. But Bitcoin, I see, so down 33% for silver, like Bitcoin. Did Bitcoin do the same thing? I mean, I just look at it at the end of the day. I'm not usually a starer of it. Let's find Bitcoin. So Bitcoin went from, is it the same days even? I think it looks like it. So Bitcoin went from 12,200 and change down to 11,500. Well, 33% would have been around 7,000. So it would have been about 8,000, something like that. So, no, not even 9,000. So a 33% haircut on that. 33%, be back 4,000 points. So it would have been 8,000 something. So it dropped to it sold off with it, but it didn't sell off as panicky, So Quad Z, we'll work on that. We'll look at the binaries. I'll talk to somebody at Dukascopy and we'll try to get more information on the binaries again. I used to do something with them on the webinar. I kind of, now that I'm through YouTube, I kind of feel a little lost sometimes. Let's see, so 33% down for silver like Bitcoin. Let's see, but Bitcoin is still up. Yeah. I meant 33% down like Bitcoin in its older days. Okay, I like that. Back in yesteryear. Now you're going to get me singing cowboy songs when you do that. In the old days. Happy trails. Now, every time I hear something about the old days, I think of cowboys. Yeah. You start making me think about cowboys. Do 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 do. Okay, so that's that. Let's take a look at Bitcoin even over here on the J4X. And then, like I said, I'm going to text somebody. I'll talk to Janos and see if we can get somebody, Quad Z, to jump in and show us a little bit more about the binary options. As you can see here, Bitcoin didn't, as we would say on the trading floor, puke as bad as silver did. You can see it there on the Bitcoin. Let's see if we can make that darker like that. That helps a little bit, doesn't it? There we go. You can see Bitcoin went into a daily buy yesterday. I think it is, yeah, yesterday. Yesterday? Let me see on the spreadsheet. Yeah, it went into a daily buy yesterday. It's still in the weekly buy. And we'll see how well it does climbing up here. As you can see here, it's looking pretty healthy. The white line is trying to break up through the three-dimensional zero line. And it's breaking through the purple standard deviation. I meant 33, let's see. Dukascopy support and me went through the apps available on different platforms like iOS and Android and found out that Dukes has not updated the app's binary trade in a while. Also, there is a lot. If you can walk me through it, we can go. On a webinar, we can try to follow it. Do you know how to bring it up on the J4X platform? I mean, and to me, an option is an option. I won't have any problem interpreting it because they use the same language. I know it all. But I sure would wish we would change the language, make the calls called a long and make the puts named a short. And you can buy and sell being long, which would make you short. Or you can buy and sell being short, which would make you long. If you short it. So if you short a short, you're a long. And on the long side or call side, if you short a long, you're short. But if you're long a long, you're long. Oh yeah, no wonder nobody wants to trade options. They've definitely done their best to make it complicated. More constraints in how binary trades with Dukascopy. Yeah, well, I think it has up to a 24-hour period. You can buy a binary for just under 24 hours. Isn't that how it works? I did the simulation and I did the contest with it. I was convinced that the very short-term binaries are really good for economic news. Let's see. Daniel says out of, and Quad Z says yes. Yeah, man. It's a. I'm not afraid to keep on pushing on the conversation. If we talk about options every day, or every other day around here, the best thing that happens is everybody learns something out of it over time. Because believe me, there's not a lot of moving parts in an option to start off with. It's just that the names are so confusing. And when you're buying an option, you're buying the premium. So you buy and sell the premium. See what I mean? They've made it so very hard for a lot of people to trade these things. That's why, they made lots of money in it for a long time and still do. In other words, they benefit. Now Daniel says, out of the top 3 ideas today, there are Turkish lira, okay, buy, oil, sell. Not yet, because it's still in a weekly buy. That's the problem with that. And Swiss sell. Yeah, Swiss, yeah, and it's in a weekly sell and a daily sell. And it could break over the next day or two, a little bit further down, and the dollar goes sliding. Oh, and buy gold, yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's in a weekly buy. And it's playing, is it playing with the daily buy? Let's see what it's doing there. Because I think it's 5 days in a sell? Let me just scroll back up on the fact check sheet. There it is right there. Yeah, 5 days in a sell. 8 weeks in a buy. So it could be getting ready to turn on the gold. Someone was texting me. Who was texting me here? Oh, there it is. There we go. Oh. All right. Let's see now. Oh, okay. All right, now, let's see. Let's see. What's the answer to it? Let's see. Where am I at? Oh, I know where. I wanted to go to gold again. Let's go take a look at gold. Right there. Let's get it up on J4X. There it is. And so, wow. That's pretty wild looking, isn't it? I like that. You've had that red, just like that, right? On ours. Right? And it's trying to turn up. It's right on the edge. It's right on the edge. And then right there, I don't, you can see here it's trying to turn up. It's doing this thing here. Boy, you get a little blue. That's a neutral. We're getting green dots here. It's trying. And I don't know about this thing here. The standard deviation's dropping off. I mean, it might be flipped out from just this alone. We'll see how that turns up. And you can see also on the time manifold right here. Even with all that selling, they couldn't even break the time manifold, let alone go minus. Wow. You know, I mean, that's pretty much what it is. So, you know, what you see there is, I guess, a bottom trying to develop. I mean, I think that's the only way we can interpret that. It's really trying to bottom. Huh. Now, we posted, like I said, Chicago Quant posted something like that 2 days ago. We're thinking that that's what it wants to do just by looking at this stuff right here. Also, that is insane, that flash crash, you know? And there's articles all over the place about, what is it? There's a short squeeze going on in the metals. There's definite short squeeze. I think the last 3 expirations, like there's been incredible amounts of physical delivered gold to New York. You know, record size. So something's going on there, and I don't think it's going away. So, you know, they may stretch this stuff out. We've seen the way they played with it. You know, I said for a long time, you know, it's going to take a lot of work to get this thing to fly, and it's finally done it. They finally got it to go. You know it was going to go. It's just a matter of time. The question is, on a day-to-day basis, it's very hard to measure it. But when you look at it over weeks and months and years, you know, I mean, look, we went to almost 2,000 back in, what was that, 2011, 9 years ago. It took 9 years for it to go back up because of the currency. Remember, it's mainly the currency that's doing it. The strength of the currency has, I mean, there was like, how many times did I do webinars and talk about the idea that there's like 80 different currencies across the planet that gold's at all-time highs in. I mean, it was like British pound, the euro, you know, all those things were, you know, the gold was at all-time highs. But in the dollar, it wasn't, because the dollar was so strong, and now that it's come down about 12%, it's opened the doorway for the gold to finally go to all-time highs here in the States. So that is pretty much what it comes down to. All right. We've looked at that twice now. That's interesting. We'll see how that goes by the end of the day. Seems like it's stalled out here. I'm not sure what that is. Is that gap? You know, there's that gap theory that's right there. There's a lot of traders that chase that gap theory. There's a good chance that this thing will fight its way back up through the gap. Next thing you know, we'll be above 2,000 again. I guess you got to watch the. I don't know. You know, maybe watching the Swiss. As the Swiss breaks down and keeps on, you know, appreciating, going lower, breaking the 90s area, maybe that kicks out the, you know, the gold over back up to the 2000s and starts playing around with the highs again. I mean, that would be the way I would interpret it. But again, we're just following the math. The key really is follow the math and, you know, skip all the other stuff, you know. All right. Where do we go from here? Let's take a look and see. We can take a look at silver real quick again, too. Did we look at silver? I think we did. Anybody have an opinion on what to look at next? Let's see. Daniel says, nice name. Oh, Titus. Hey, Titus. Just saw you there. Sorry about that. Wish I had said hi earlier. I was rambling about gold. And Daniel's looks better to buy than silver. Yeah, I agree there. And Quad Z is saying the same stuff up right above you, right? So how would put together a strategy using options with this math for gold? Bull spreads. Buying a lower call and selling a higher call. Something about a month out, maybe. I mean, something right around that area. I would say that at least that, maybe even a little bit longer out. I think the chances are, as long as we're in a weekly buy, there could be a second move to the upside. So that would be the way there. Does that make sense to you, Quad Z? You know, like at least 3 or 4 weeks, you buy a bull spread. I don't know. You know, that's a big question. Silver versus gold. The way they took it down 33%, you have to believe that's got to have some effect again, you know, on the upside. You know, when you have incredible panics like that, and they take a big chunk, like when silver dropped down to 1171, was it 5 months ago now? I kept on saying it in the webinar. That is going to instigate a response on the upside. That's why we were so bullish that they were going to break the 20s, you know, break the 19.5 20 and get into the mid to high 20s. That's what we kept on saying in the webinar. And we posted that from Chicago Quant, posted that on some other websites even. You know, when you get that type of extreme action, that is usually a prelude to something coming around the corner again. And so that panic down 33% right now, those who sold it down there? Who was selling? Someone had to be selling it at 23.5 and 23.58 and 23.70 and, you know, 24 and 24.5. I mean, that's pretty extreme. So, you know, here we are. Let's put it up on the screen again. Let's see, where are we at? Right there at the top. So today they took it up to 28. I mean, the thing went from 23.5 to 28 in 3 days. I mean, it's like, wow. That says that there's pressure points there that are very explosive. And so, I mean, you know, silver could break into the 30s from something like that. You know, in other words, if they hadn't panicked it down and they started like, you know, selling a little bit, I'd be like, okay, yeah, silver is probably not going to take out that high for a bunch of months now, you know, maybe even years, who knows. You know, we follow the math. But when they do crazy things like that, where they drive it down so extreme, that always opens up something to move further. Be it the shorts need to cover, sells needed to have certain inventory and they panicked and sold it. Now they got to get it back. I mean, they're still long, but they're just not as long as they need to be. You know, it's always something like that. That's exactly what that is. So, I hope I'm not rambling too much about the metals, but I want you to understand where my head is at. When you see something extreme like that, you've got to take it as a cautionary thing, that something is coming around the corner still more, you know? So, all right. Gold looks better. So Titus, hey Titus, how you been? There's no fundamentals at all supporting gold short. Yeah, I hear you there. You know, but there hasn't been fundamentals supporting it for a decade, as far as I'm concerned. How many times have I said to you in the webinars that if you told me 15 years ago what is going on right now, you know, in 2004 or 2005, and then you said, okay, Doc, where do you think gold would be? I would say, 5,000, maybe as low as 3,500, as high as 10,000. I mean, honestly, the fundamentals that we understood for the metals, there's no way in the world why it should be sitting at 2,000. You know, it should be like, at least in the low end of the range, it should be like 3,500 or 3,600. And the high end of the range, it could be 10,000. So to me, I'm totally perplexed when it comes to the fundamentals. I mean, fundamentals make no sense anymore whatsoever when it comes to the metals products. All right. I mean, yeah. I mean, and not only that. Let me throw you another bone, and that is platinum, $1,000 discount to gold. I mean, what? You know what I mean? $1,000 discount platinum. You know, so wow. You know, just wow. All right. let's see what else we got. Let's see. Investments is for folks with disposable income. My 2 cents worth. Investments is for no, I think you can do a couple things. See, that's the key when using options correctly, and you marry options to investing. It's a whole different concept to what you've been reading for the last, from what's been written. I mean, honestly, you want to learn, if you want to really read a book about how to use options, and I've put this on here, and I think I've told you this before. Larry McMillan's Options as a Strategic Investment. You don't have to buy his most expensive book. Buy one of his used books for like $4. $5. A 1990 book or 1988 book or 1995 book. It's just all the same stuff. I mean, that is how investments are supposed to work with options. Yeah. Now Palladium. I mean, whoa, Palladium trading in the $3,000 area. I mean, really? I mean, it's been wild and woolly stuff we're seeing here. Yeah, well, platinum. Let's see. Is that the symbol for platinum? Let me try that. What's that? XPTUSD? No, that's the euro. Now, let's take a look at platinum real quick. And then we're going to be TGI and F'ing it out of here. And there is platinum. Trading at $976.20. It isn't a daily buy for after that crazy little sell-off that drove it down only about $100. So, all right, traders. I will talk to Janos about the Dukascopy stuff, and we're all learning on some level. Quad. We'll just keep on playing with it until we figure it all out. That's what it comes down to. I've been doing it for almost 40 years, so trust me. It's relatively simple in some ways, but the names and so forth just shake everybody up. I guess we should put a spreadsheet up there that actually says like call equals, see, that's the problem. Call doesn't equal a long really if you sell it short. So that's why it's complicated, because you can buy a call or sell a call, or you can short a call. You can do one of those things. And the same thing with the puts. You can buy a put, you can sell a put after you bought it, or you can short a put. And when you short a put, that makes you long. When you buy a put, that makes you short. When you sell the put that you bought, you're closing it. So, all right, traders, have a safe and happy weekend. We will catch you on Monday. Excellent. Dukascopy doesn't offer platinum and palladium. Yeah, I know. Well, I guess the bands are just not there. All right. Happy trails to all of you. And we will see you on Monday. Same time, same channel. So happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all